Varied. I think in terms of community, what we have found is that you need to create a campaign and you need to think about brand and positioning your conversation really early. So we're working with Kalgoorlie at the moment, City of Kalgoorlie-Boulder, for the Kalgoorlie City Centre transformation. It's one of the very few projects that held onto its Royalties for Regions funding. And this is probably the third or fourth bite of the cherry of developing a transformation plan for their CBD. And they'd had very little engagement, and they had, a lot of apathy, and people were frustrated, and, it was just, so we're coming off a pretty low base. And the first thing we did is, well, we need to change the conversation. So our approach was, let's not ask people which engineering solution for Hannon Street they like, because quite frankly, that's boring. And you need a certain level of technical expertise, and it's only going to appeal to this people. We need to broaden the conversation around how are we repositioning the Kalgoorlie CBD, which is just frightful in itself, into the Cal City Centre, into a place for people. So we developed a project brand, almost a visual assault on the senses, bright, colourful, movement, activity, and we basically implemented an engagement approach, which was outreach, like go to the people, go where the people are, find them in their natural habitat, so to speak, and have a conversation and build some momentum and excitement around it and get people enthused. And yeah, we got about 14,000 sort of people interacting with us on that project. So we did a lot of outreach. We designed an interactive tool where people could, through a software called Social Pinpoint, and then we designed an interactive plan and fed it back to them, and they could interact with it. And again, it was bright, it was colourful. We didn't get a planner to design the plan, we got an artist to do the plan, and so it was just about just making it a bit fun and a bit engaging. So that for me is fundamental. Building a campaign that appeals to people beyond the squeaky wheels is super important, because that's when you're going to get people who are time poor, educated, a lot of value to add, but who won't traipse down to the town hall on a Thursday night and look at your information boards, etc. So that's around sort of engaging in the conversation. So that community, that's definitely one. And I think everyone's interested in the big issues. So hooking in what you're trying to do with trends around retail, around community, around the way people are living, around technology, around all the things that influence our lives is important to get people's attention. So for community, that's important. And then for government, it depends. It depends. I find local councils around place are most interested in their internal mechanisms, really. Quite often what we find is when we have conversations with local council, in fact any sort of large organisation, be it public or private sector, is we almost always have to solve a business problem before we can tackle the project or the place problem. So that's always really interesting as well. And just, so yeah, talking to them about first what the business challenge is, what the internal challenge is, and then how that will impact on whatever place or project that they're talking about is very important to make that link early. Otherwise the two just won't come together in a meaningful way.